Hello, my name is James Morris, and I'm the instructor of record for Social Work 325 Online Delivery. I'm producing this video to introduce the syllabus to the participants in the class, to review the content and the assignments. First off, this is online delivery. This is my name, my office number here in the School of Social Work, room 119, my telephone number, and my email address. My email address is probably the best way to get a hold of me. This is the syllabus, and this is what we'll be following. The purpose of this course is to introduce students to the second half of human behavior. Specifically, this focuses on a lot of review from what was learned in Social Work 225, and then builds upon that to address the ways that people live in communities, organizations, and in groups. This course will focus on ethics, morality, diversity, history, and development of healthy communities. The program learning outcomes are as follows, and these are part of our educational policy and accreditation standards through the Council on Social Work Education. It includes discussion about ethical and professional behavior, diversity and difference, human rights, practice-informed research, policy, engaging, assessing, and intervening and evaluating with individuals, families, groups, organizations, and communities. The required text is from Dale and Smith and can be found at the bookstore or online. Please make sure you pay special attention to the 7th edition. Additionally, the recommended text is the APA Publication Manual. You want to get the most current edition. This will be very important for when you write your papers. The student learning objectives, these are what the students are going to get out of the course, are as follow. To be able to critique and apply knowledge to people in their environment, human problems in living in context of groups, institutions, organizations, and communities. Students will be able to utilize conceptual framework to guide their understanding and learning. Students will view themselves as learners and engage with populations. To learn from multiple sources of information and think for yourself. Reflect personally and fix your own behavior. To analyze different models of assessment, models of prevention, intervention, and evaluation to improve your critical thinking and judgments. To meaningfully prepare for action with clients. To begin to understand and manage your personal values in a way that allows for professional growth. Make ethical decisions. Demonstrate professional demeanor. Understand the importance of culture, and as always, to advocate for human rights. This class is going to be online, and as such, there will be 5 modules. Each module will cover approximately 2 chapters in the book. Each module will have 2 discussions that will be graded as 10-point quizzes. 5 modules, 2 discussions per, 10 points each, is all the discussions are worth in 100 points. There are computer requirements as this is an online class, and if you have any questions or concerns, by all means, please go to the SFA online delivery office. They can help you. This is our schedule. There's 5 modules. Each module will be about 2 weeks long. Each module contains about 2 chapters. Specifically in Module 1, we'll address class overview, syllabus, and get into the introduction to human behavior. We'll talk about core competencies, what theory relates to generalist practice and social work. We'll talk about how theory and practice and social work, how they relate. We'll talk about things about theoretical range, grand, mid-range, and focal theories. The second half of Module 1, we're going to talk about the foundations of social systems theory. What is theory? How we generate it. The perspective of social systems. What is a system? How does it work? We'll talk about ecological theory, person and environment, functional theory, and symbolic interaction, but really role theory. Module 2, we'll talk more about social systems, where they come from, how they work, definitions of it. Going on to chapter 15, we'll talk about social capital, diversity, the importance of cultural diversity, social capital, conflict, religion and diversity, and ethics about all that. Module 3, we'll talk about social systems and social roles, talk about the major concepts and structures and dynamics, problems that can happen in roles. In Chapter 10, we're going to talk about group theories. Chapter 10 is going to be an overview. There's a lot of things here. In addition, there's an entire course that we teach, Social Work 333, that goes over this in detail. The important part of what we do here in 325 is not to recreate what happens in Social Work 333, but to begin to lay the foundation so that when students do take this important practice class, they're well prepared. Module 4, we'll talk about organizational theories, specifically about what people do in their roles as employees, what they do in their roles of groups, and whether this is a group that they want to be a part of or that they have to be a part of. Later on, Chapter 12, we'll talk about theories of community, evolving communities, what communities look like. Is your community based on who you see, where you live, or what you're interested in? Module 5 concludes with theories applied to addiction and theories applied to violence. Class attendance and participation is essential for students. It's important that you read, that you log in, and participate in the discussions. Each week contains readings from the text. Also, other readings may be included. There are 5 major exams that will be given throughout the semester at the end of each module. You're expected to take all exams at the scheduled time. If there's any life situation or any accommodations that you require through Office of Disabilities, I encourage you to reach out to the Office of Disabilities, or if there's a life event, I encourage you to reach out to the Office of Student Rights and Responsibilities. As always, you can communicate with me, and I do encourage you to do so, but it is your responsibility to submit the required materials in the right place at the right time. Like I said earlier, quizzes, these are based on the discussions. There's 10 quizzes. There's 5 modules, 2 discussions per, for 10. Missing a quiz gets you a 0, unless there's some sort of excused absence. For the assignments, there's 2 proper papers, assignment A and assignment B. They're to be typewritten or computer in 12-point APA format. Assignment C is a group presentation that will be facilitated through Zoom. This is the point spread for the exams, the discussion quizzes, the assignments. It's an 800-point scale. This is the grading scale. The academic integrity policy. If you cheat, you could get a 0. Academic dishonesty includes cheating and plagiarism. The complete policy is available here. If you have any sort of special learning needs or requirements or disabilities, please reach out to me. In addition, please reach out to the link here or to the Office of Disability Services at the information here below. This is assignment A. This is a paper. In this paper, you explore your larger environment as it relates to groups, communities, and organizations. I encourage you to, when you craft the paper, to have an opening, an introduction. One section as a major heading will be this A, with subheadings as the 1, 2, 3, 4. Have an introduction and a conclusion at the end of it. Go on to B, the impact of these institutions as its own heading. 1, 2, 3, 4 are their own subheadings. Finally, C, impact of community on your behavior as its own heading. 1, 2, 3, 4 as their own subheadings. Then have a conclusion at the very end. I encourage you to reach out to the ARC and question them. They're a very good resource if you have any unmet needs about how to write or structure your papers. In addition, I have a paper from another class I'm happy to upload that might guide you through this process. Assignment B is more of a research-based article where you choose a problem in living related to people in communities. It could be single-parent households trying to raise kids. A problem in living is a proper social work term that means things that normal people run into that they have problems with. There's different steps, step 1 through 5. Step 1 is select 4 articles that relate to your community problem. Understand these all together and critique the information. For 4 articles, you're probably going to have 4 separate paragraphs. The beginning part of each one will talk about the information contained therein, and the second half of the paragraph will critique it. Step 2, select a real-life community situation that exemplifies the problem you're talking about. This is something that really actually happened. The news, the internet, something that happened in real life, a real situation. And explain it. Step 3 is based on your library research from 1 and the data you got from a real life situation. Step 2, analyze what it looks like from the research perspective and the real life perspective. Step 4 is provide an example of what this would look like in a real life family. In step 5, what are some ways that a social worker might be able to actually help? And in assignment C, and we'll review this later, this requires a level of thoroughness that I don't have right here, right now. What this is a group presentation on community assimilation. And what it is a fabricated situation relating to 2,000 Cuban refugees in the Naples, Florida area. What it is 2,000 refugees have come to Naples. Each person in the group will be assigned a role about what we're going to do with these 2,000 people into our community, where we're going to learn, where we're going to put them, how are we going to integrate them into the community, and what's going to happen. One person will be assigned a role of mayor, police chief, Catholic priest, social worker, business owner, pastor, city manager, and Chamber of Commerce representative. Each of these people has their own perspectives. Fundamentally, this group presentation is an exercise in role theory. I want you to show me that you know the role of mayor and what would they do in this situation. If you're the chief of police, what would the chief of police do in this situation? This will be facilitated through Zoom and will be live cast through D2L. This is the selected bibliography. Of any questions, concerns, by all means email me. If you have any further concerns, my email is morrisjr and then the number 1, morrisjr1@sfasu.edu. If you have any questions, please hit me up. Thank you.